everybody? It's Bourbon Bill, and tonight, a very special episode talking about one of my least favorite distilleries and their newest, most expensive release that I've seen yet to date. It's Wild Turkey Master's Keep Bacon. So, big shout out to a couple of people. One, my brother-in-law for getting a bottle of this. I did not, and because of the price. We'll get that in a second. And my buddy Kevin for giving me a sample of his, which he already opened. So we have his poured up tonight. And maybe Nate will come to his senses and get rid of this bottle after the review, potentially. We'll see. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's good. We don't know. But look, if you've been living under a rock, this here is like the last Master's Keep bottle, or so they say. Has this nice charred oak texture on the box. Look at like the alligator char on there, just like the inside of a barrel. But anyway, this here is a blend of 10 to 16-year-old wild turkey distillate, and boy, that sounds good at face value at 118 proof. Compute 59% alcohol by volume. That all sounds good until we get to the price point, $300 hairs MSRP. Are you shitting me, Wild Turkey? $300. And let's just recap quick. What was Russell's Reserve 15, which by the way was all 15 and 16-year-old bourbon? What was that, everybody? $250 hairs MSRP last year. So now we got to pay $300 for like some 16-year and some 10-year. And they don't disclose, I don't think they disclose anywhere on here what percentage is 10 and what percentage is 16. But this is supposed to be some kind of, the reason they're done with Master's Keep is because Eddie Russell's kind of done and Bruce Russell's taken over. And this was kind of Eddie's thing, right? So that's kind of why they're done with it. But you know, it's like, gosh, I mean, just 10 to 16-year-old blend doesn't scream $300 hairs to me. But a lot of people have been raving about this. Oh, it's whiskey of the year. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. But man, the price. And hopefully we can get over it. You know, we'll give it a nosing and a tasting and tell you about it first, and then we'll discuss the value and potentially where you could find some alternatives. Alright, without further ado, here it is. Color, nice and medium dark. It's a nice color, gotta say. Gotta say, nice proof, 118. I think that's the highest one to date, I'm pretty sure. And let's give it a nose. Let's dive in. Do I smell 300? Do I smell 3 Benjamins? No. No, I don't smell $300 hairs here now. However, it is very good. So it is very good in the nose. Don't just because I say it doesn't smell like $300 hairs doesn't mean it's not good whiskey. So let's give it a smell again. I get a little bit of oakiness, a little bit of like dark cherry undertone here. A little bit of like honey vanilla. It does smell wonderful. This is a nice blend of fruit and oak. Yeah, I mean, this is what a lot of people look for, right? Like, I like heavy oak bourbons. Go watch my review of Knob Creek 21. Spoiler alert, it's delicious. But, you know, I appreciate just a myriad of flavors. And this has a myriad of scents, at least on the nose. Yeah, it's like a stone fruit with some honey and then like a little bit of cherry and some oak. I dig it. The nose is wonderful. Down the hatch. Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty beautiful. Pretty beautiful, gotta say. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Up front, I get some of those like fruit notes, like stone fruit, some honey in there, a little bit of pepper. Then I get like a cherry oak, and then I get a little bit of spice on the back end. Wonderfully put together. Wonderfully put together. If we don't include price, if we just ignore price altogether, A+ rating from Bourbon Bill. If we consider price, I think she's going to drop to a C. I know, crucify me now. But look, if you spend $300 and $300 ain't shit to you, and you're a Wild Turkey guy, it's good. You're going to like it. You're not going to feel too terrible about it. If $300 is a stretch for your wallet, it's very good. Doesn't exactly blow my socks off, though. I mean, like I said, very good, but it's not like, wow, I would have missed out on life if I didn't try this. You know, it's not that good. The first comparison is really ballers with no budget. It's Calumet 18 here. So I got a sample of this. Very little left, so this is going to be the end of this. Well, maybe I can save one little quick snippet. Look, this is $500 hairs. Maybe you got it for $400. It's more money. But guess what? It's no bargain, but it is all 18 years old. Okay, in the mini here, because I don't have much of it left, on the nose. Golly, see, this is a better nose. It's got more of a cherry. It's got like an almond leather thing going on. And I get a little bit of that honey note. The noses are close. These are close. I kind of might prefer the Cal 18, but again, it's not a good value either. Cal 18 down the hatch. Oh. I'll say this. The Cal 18 loses on the front palate, but then the mid to finish, it just dominates. The finish on the Cal 18 is such a charred leather, like cherry almond thing. It's phenomenal. I think it does outshine this Wild Turkey Beacon a little bit, but if you want flavor throughout the whole pour, you're going to prefer the Beacon. So I'm giving a little bit of kudos to Wild Turkey here. They did a great job. The more I'm sipping on the Beacon, the more like some cherries coming out, which I like. You know, that's what I want in my Wild Turkey, is some cherry. So my mind immediately goes to a comparison that's a lot cheaper from Wild Turkey. Russell's Reserve 13. This is batch 5. This is the last one they did, so this was like 2 years ago. But look, you can find these for less than $300 hairs on secondary if you look hard enough. And guess what? You might say, well, Bill, that's younger. Is it though? It's all at least 13 year. And actually there was like some 19-year-old mixed in here, some 16. This is probably actually older by the blend percentage than the Beacon. And this one's 114.8. So it's less than 4 proof points off of the Beacon. Yet this was $150 hairs at its max. In the mini again, Russell's Reserve 13. Oh yeah, it's all that delicious oak, barrel char. With some fruit on there. Beacon on the nose. I'm actually going to give the noses kind of an even push. Like, I don't know that one nose is better than the other. I think they're both equally as good. Russell Reserve 13 down the hatch. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. I don't know. You know, like, that's got the cherry oak thing going on. Barrel char. Back to the Beacon. Guys, I'm really torn on these two. And that's a problem when the Beacon is double the price, right? So, I think the value on Beacon is fucking horrible, and you should not spend $300 hairs if that's a lot to you, and you know that's a limited budget. You just shouldn't on this. It's, you know, people are like, oh, you know, let's compare it to Russell's 15. Sure, we're gonna do that, but it don't necessarily firmly beat Russell's 13. Now, the Beacon would certainly beat the new Russell's 13. That $200 bottle of horse shit, Spring 2025, is way younger, spicier, terrible. It's not terrible whiskey, but it's terrible as compared to the other Russell's Reserve 13s. This is actually a good bottle of Russell's Reserve 13. So, if you're comparing 2025 Russell's 13, sure, the Beacon's better. Okay, it's $100 more though, right? But it's still better. Russell's Reserve 15 year. This is the real deal comparison you want, so we're going to put it up here in another clear glass. Golly, this looks darker though, doesn't it? Russell's 15 here. Oh yeah, Russell's 15 is darker. Is it going to be better? Almost assuredly it is. And, you know, MSRP wise, $50 hairs less. Secondary, it's probably more on secondary though. On the nose, Russell's Reserve 15. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Nose on this is oakier, older, more cherry. More barrel char. Doesn't have any of like that fruit, stone fruit. If you're not an oak hound though, you know, I'm not discounting the Beacon. If you're not the deep, dark, rich oak guy. You know, you might prefer the nose on the Beacon, but for us real homeboys here, real OGs, Russell Reserve 15 smells better. Down the hatch of the Russell Reserve 15. Oh my God. Oh. That just takes the Beacon down. That is terrible. Terrible value on the Beacon. So look, here's my 2 cents. Don't buy the Beacon. I know, right, you probably can't get Russell 15 either, but we'll do some other comparisons maybe you can find. But hold on. Look, I was like, maybe they did us a solid. Before I heard the price of Beacon, I was like, 10, 16 sounds good, and it is good. Then I heard the price, I was like, fuck you, Wild Turkey, you sons of bitches. You know, like, that's a shit price. And then, just recently they released this label, which I put on the screen. It's 16-year-old gold foil commemorative Wild Turkey coming out, you know, in 2026. And then it hit me. Beacon is the 16-year-old barrels that they didn't want to put in the gold foil release. So it's like the reject 16-year barrels, and it says 10-year that Bruce Russell did when he first joined. And it's like, well, that's kind of cool he did that when he first joined up, but like, maybe it wasn't good enough to bottle on its own, right? You think they would have did like a Bruce Russell 10-year commemorative. But guess what? Maybe it wasn't good enough. So they put it in with these reject 16s to make something drinkable. And yeah, hey, it's pretty good. But then they charge an absurd price for it. It's like, what the fuck, you know? Certainly Russell Reserve 15's better. It is. It's better, okay? End of story. I think the 16-year-old gold foil coming out is going to smoke this too. Now, I'm sure that's going to be $400 to $600 hairs is my guess for that bottle. That's just my guess. Should it be that? No, but that's my guess. All right, let's do some more affordable bottles that you might be able to find. First up on the docket, New Hardin's Creek The Owl, 11 year. So look, guess what? Ain't no blend, it's all 11. Or at least all 11, so they say. $150 hairs, half the fucking price. Half price of the Beacon. Comes in an equally cool bottle. Sure, it's only 700 mil though. They did screw us there. Now, if you watch my review, you know I love the Hardin's Creek The Owl. On the nose. Oh man, that beam, a little bit of beam nuttiness, the oak, caramel, brown sugar. Faint hint of like raspberry on this Beacon. I'm going to give the nose to the Beacon because it's a little bit oakier. I like the oak cherry thing going on the Beacon. I'm not a Wild Turkey like hater other than their price and just how they treat their consumers, but their whiskey is generally good. It's just overpriced. I like the nose better on the Beacon. But it's not horribly far off here. Down the hatch on the Hardin's Creek. Oh. She came to play on the palate. The owl on the palate here is like caramel, brown sugar, oak, raspberry. Gosh, that's phenomenal. It's so well put together. Beacon? I think the Beacon's better. I do. As it pains me to say, I think the Beacon's a little bit better. But just a little bit. And certainly not a $150 hairs difference, right? There's 3 different ones of these Hardin's Creek coming out. You'll probably be able to find them for MSRP. So it's a better value. Even though, you know, just pure taste-wise, I prefer the Beacon. Another $150 hair bottle, which is expensive, but again, half price of Beacon. Jack Daniel's 14 year. For sure, probably greater than the average age of the Beacon. Proof 126.3, compute 63.15%. Alcohol by volume, certainly higher than the Beacon. Here in the full-size clear. Oh boy, she looks darker than the Beacon, doesn't it? Oh yeah. JD14, Beacon looking pale for this fight here. JD14 on the nose. God damn, is that a better nose. It's just this like rich caramel molasses oak. Oh, that molasses note. Tobacco. Down the hatch of the JD14. Sweet heavens. Sweet heavens. Yeah. Yeah. That's going to beat the Beacon there. That's going to beat the Beacon. Oak, like molasses, caramel, leather, tobacco. Beats the Beacon. For half price, MSRP wise, folks. For half price. Because I'm in a given mood. JD12 batch 3. I almost like this equally compared to the 14. I flip-flop. This is only about $100 hairs. Probably more findable. 107 proof, so lower proof. Still darker in color than Beacon, which is a problem for Beacon. On the nose of the JD12. Oh yeah, it's got a little bit more banana to it. Actually more oak, dials back the molasses of the 14. Down the hatch. Oh yeah. Oh. That's wonderful. Caramel, banana, oak, leather. Barrel charred for days. Back to the Beacon. I'd say those two are even. The Beacon has a wonderful oak and cherry note that really, it's unique to Wild Turkey for me, kind of like Russell's 15 has it, right? It's very good from that respect, but again, it was, $200 hairs more than the 12. It just doesn't add up. Our value play this evening, and probably the most easily found bottle, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof B525. This is the best bottle of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof since 2023. Okay, here it is, 11 years, 6 months, 126.2 proof in the clear. $75 hairs. Okay, let that sink in, everybody. $225 hairs cheaper than Beacon. Cheaper. At 200. Oh, getting upset about thinking about that. All right, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof B525 on the nose. Oh man, that just like got some red fruit. Oh yeah, it's all like raspberries, cherry, strawberry. It's like a red fruit. Nice oak component, a little bit of nuttiness. Down the hatch. Oh my God, is that heavenly? Oh. That is a damn good pour. So that's going to do well in Bourbon of the Year. Back to the Beacon. I like the Beacon better, but it ain't by a lot. Like, God, that's sad. For $225 hairs more. Guys, that's pretty close. That is close. And that's sad for you fuckers at Wild Turkey. Charging that much money for that. Knob Creek 18-year batch 3, last year's release. 100 proof, but you know what, everybody? She's 18 years old, which is older than the Beacon. Older than the Beacon. 18 proof points less. On the nose, $165 hairs. Just a little more than half price. Oh, that's delicious. A little bit of orange marmalade, oak. Caramel down the hatch. Man. Oh, that's good. If you're a fan of oak, that's oakier than the Beacon. Back to the Beacon. Beacon's got the cherry note though. I just dig the cherry on this. Again, I prefer the Beacon by a little bit, but it's not a big difference here. It's all this delicious cherry oak in the Beacon. It's hard to match up right when you're talking 118 versus 100. But we just gotta remember, everything else here tonight's been like half price, right? And we actually prefer the JD14 over the Beacon. JD12 was a draw. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof B525 was close, but it lost too, right? Knob Creek 18, again close, but lost. Russell's 13, kind of a tie. Russell's 15 beat it. That's a lot of comparisons tonight to just Hardin's Creek. The new Hardin's Creek wasn't quite as good, but again, it's half price. Like, there's a lot of comparisons out there that, like, you don't have to feel FOMO over missing out on this Beacon and not paying $300 hairs. Like, none of that is worth $300 hairs. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We came swinging with the big old bats tonight. We said, I'll see year 10 to 16 year. We're going to raise that son of a bitch to legal age. We're going to go buy a handgun with this son of a bitch. We're going to drink while we're doing it. Knob Creek 21, motherfuckers. 100 proof. Just all the oak your heart can handle. I'm expecting a little bitch slapping to occur here. 100 proof, 21-year-old Knob Creek, just 11 years older than the youngest shit in Beacon. 11 years more. MSRP, $250 hairs. That's right, folks. Not cheap, but $50 hairs less. And it also comes in a fucking fancy packaging. Fuck you, Wild Turkey. All right, on the nose, Knob Creek 21. Oh, sweet heavens. Just the richest oak leather you've ever smelled. Oak spice is on here. Barrel char down the hatch. Oh, my God. Fucking dominates. She's complex with all these oak, tobacco, leather, barrel char flavors all wrapped in a ball of aged goodness. That fucking slaps. That's gotta be better than the Beacon. Last sip of the Beacon. Whoa, the Beacon is now smelling absent of oak. It just smells like a little bit of cherry juice left in the glass. Down the hatch on the last of the Beacon. I will say the cherry on the Beacon is so pronounced that the finish on the Beacon is very good. But everybody, Bourbon Bill prefers Knob Creek 21. So, is Beacon good? Hell yeah, it is. Is it worth $300 hairs? No, it's not. And we've been over every reason why tonight. If you must have the cherry oak goodness and $300 is burning a hole in your pocket, you could do worse. It's very good. So go ahead and buy it for that. But if $300 feels expensive to you, and in reality it should for something you're going to be pissing in the toilet later, it's not earth-shattering. And several things tonight beat it for half-price MSRP. And there's some shelf-available products like the B525 that are going to get you there close enough for government work. So if you like what we saw tonight, please like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time. Have a good evening, everybody. Little bonus section here at the end. It's like, man, Wild Turkey just proliferates like the we hate our consumers mindset. Like their pricing is out of this world on their LEs. Like, can we just talk about it for a second? Look, when I got in my bourbon journey, I liked Wild Turkey, right? Like Wild Turkey 101, good shit, you know? Rare breed, great bottle, one of the best bottles for $50 hairs imaginable. And then we just like fast forward to 2025, right? And both those bottles are now younger tasting than ever. Like they've stripped the old shit out of them. And they're just selling that to you at gunpoint at these high-ass fucking prices now in various LEs. And it's just sad to see what they've done. Like, they took a beloved American brand and shat on it. And it's like, you know, Wild Turkey 12-year, right? Export only, right? But the original batch, like in 2022, was like phenomenal, right? Phenomenal whiskey. And then, like, I heard the newest batch in 2024, oh, you know, it's not as oaky. Guess what? Because no, they don't put his old shit in it, you know? There's always older than 12 in it, right? It's the same story with Russell's 13. They give you 5 batches of deliciousness, and then for 2025, they just ram one up your ass with no lube and just take out all the aged goodness that was in Russell's Reserve 13 and give you that shit pile. That's the spring 2025 for $200, the most money ever. It's like, I can't think of a brand that gives you less of what you fucking want unless you're ultra wealthy than Wild Turkey. Like, they just, every which way, they fuck their own consumer. It's crazy. And Beacon's delicious, right? Shouldn't cost $300. It's a blend of 10 to 16-year-old bourbon. It should be like $150. $150, $175. I'm gonna buy all day. $300, pound sand. You know? And you compare that to like Jack Daniels, right? There's a goddamn distillery giving you what you want for great MSRP prices. 12-year, 10-year, 14-year, right? I get they're hard to get, but MSRP ain't bad. They're putting out, you know, picks of Coy Hill ryes that are 8, 9 years old that just stomp the shit out of other ryes. Like, you know, just their shelf gold label rye and bourbon is phenomenal. They just released this bottle here. I can't get enough of this. I did a review on this and I liked it, but I then got a bottle from somebody who helped me get one, and this bottle is even older than my review bottle, and this is even better. And $70 on the shelf, and it's like, this is actually foolproof. Okay, it's 100 proof. That's what they put in the barrel at. This is actually a foolproof. It's fucking delicious. 8-year-old. You know, toasted bourbon at $70. Like, there's just distilleries just giving you what you want, you know? Beam. Let's talk about a Beam. 12-year-old Knob Creek available in most bumfuck country stores for $70 to $55 hairs. Phenomenal shit at 100 proof. Okay, phenomenal. What, you know, Wild Turkey sells 12-year Wild Turkey 101 for $150 hairs in the States. Well, it's hard to get. I guess that's kind of secondary. But either way, it's like, and it ain't as good anymore. Back in 2022, I still like Knob Creek 12 when it was oakier, but now that they stripped the age out of it, it's worse. So, you got to start supporting these distilleries that take care of their customers. Like Jack Daniel's supports you, Beam does good by you most of the time, and when I say Beam, I'm going to actually refer to Knob Creek. Booker's, they can get you on that little book, but Booker's Reserves 2024 was really good. Haven't seen the 2025 yet, but Knob Creek specifically within Beam takes care of its customers. Heaven Hill with Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, they've had some shitters, let's be honest, but B525 is phenomenal for $75. $75 for 11.5-year-old bourbon. And even if they're not the best batch, they're not a bad value, right? And they're bringing out a barrel proof rye this year for $75. If Wild Turkey had brought out a barrel proof rye that was over 12 years old, they would be charging your fucking ass $250, guaranteed. You guys gotta quit buying that shit. And that's just my rant at the end of this video. It's quit supporting them. Teach them a fucking lesson. Thank you so much. Please comment and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Have a good evening, everybody.